Corey Melton, Mind the Streets, New York City, here, Washington Square Park. And our guest today, she's an American pop artist, songwriter, and actress. She's best known for her piano-driven blend of soulful, theatrically tinged music, evocative of singer-songwriters like Billy Joel, Carole King, and Sarah Bareilles. She's collaborated with the likes of the Goo Goo Dolls and 10,000 Maniacs. And if that's not enough, she's done 9 placements on Lifetime's hit TV show, Dance Moms. Oh, and am I forgetting something? She just played Carnegie Hall, and she just opened up for the Eddie Awards. So I present to you, without further ado, Cassandra Kubisnki.
Woohoo! Corey, you're making me sound like,
the rock star that you are.
Like,
You've done some
I've
stuff. You just played Carnegie Hall. It's kind of a big deal.
I did. That was awesome. It was pretty epic, It's funny though, people reach out, they're like, that's it, you've achieved the dream every musician has. And for me, honestly, Carnegie Hall is amazing. But do you know Red Rocks, that venue out in Colorado? I feel like that would be the kind of venue that
a lifetime goal is to see Gary Clark Jr. at Red Rocks.
All right, well hopefully I'll open for him.
And Cassandra Kubisnki.
That's it, collab, a little collab track.
I love it. Have you ever shot street photography before?
Only on, a cell phone, just kind of that's cool, I'm gonna grab that, but not thinking of it like an art form.
All right, well the name of the game today is whatever you find interesting, whatever you see that catches your eye, whether it be a person, a billboard, a window, a piece of trash on the sidewalk, I don't care what it is, you pick up that camera and you shoot. First things first, we gotta remove that lens cap though.
All right.
And so you're gonna look through the back here, your trigger's there,
okay.
and you just fire away. Now you can zoom in and you can zoom out, preference, whatever you feel is necessary for the shot that you're taking.
Okay.
That little square that you see on the inside there, that is known as the frame. So whatever you capture within that frame is what counts.
Okay.
Cool?
And I'm looking through this.
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't I see anything? I see no things at the moment. Is everything, do I need to
Because we gotta turn that bad boy on.
Camera's gotta be
Boom,
on, people.
there we go.
Tip number 1, I just learned
Tip number
something.
1, turn the camera on, take the lens cap off.
All right, what could go wrong?
Let's see your images from today.
Hey.
Oh, it's nothing. I got nothing.
I thought the inside of this camera was cool.
All right, so the name of the game, as I said, point, shoot, whatever you find interesting. We're gonna talk, we're gonna walk. I'm gonna get to know you. I have a ton of questions lined up. And no, you keep going. You're part of the show now. You're in there. You gotta sign a release form though. You too.
Just
no,
kidding.
I'm kidding.
We're actually kidding.
So anyway, so let's get to talking, let's get to
people.
walking, and let's get to know you, shall we?
Love it. Let's
Boom,
do
let's
it.
go. So we're pretty close to where you got your start at when you first came to New York, yes?
Yeah, when I arrived in the city, I was thinking, I'm going to be this big singer-songwriter, play on the MSG stage, all the fog and lights coming down, it's going to be so cool. But where I actually started was playing to 7 people at CBGB's gallery.
Capture this right here. Boom, got her. See, she was looking, but I got her.
Nice. Yes, I played CBGB's gallery, and then soon after started playing the Bitter End, which is right around the corner from here.
Yeah, it's just over here on Thompson, right?
Yeah, on Bleecker, yeah.
What do we see? What do we got? What do you like?
What do we see? Okay. I love the ivy. I love things that are completely covered in the ivy.
So now you can zoom with that lens. So I would turn this
Okay.
barrel here all the way, and you'll be right up on that ivy from here, or you should be anyways.
Hang on a sec.
So let's look through there, and then you can shoot,
Oh, nice. All right.
and then just snap away, whatever you like.
Bam.
Boom.
All right. Cool.
Got it.
First photo.
First photo.
In the
First
can.
street photo ever. We might have to get that
Love it.
framed.
That's cool. That's cool.
So,
Oh my
what do you got? What do you got? You like the dog?
I
Take the
love
dog.
the doggy.
Yes, get in there.
Oh my God! It's the cutest.
He's the people's dog. That's what they call him.
So adorable.
How long have you been a professional musician?
Well, I got my first paycheck to sing for other people when I was 12. So,
Damn,
not going to give you the
that's
math
insane.
on it, but
And I won't ask.
it's been it's been a good 3/4 of a lifetime, basically.
Yeah, very cool.
I guess I did just give you the math on it.
Yeah, you did. Oops. We can delete that out, right?
Yeah, cut. Can we edit? I started out in musical theater when I was a kid, and my first
And that's
show
what I wanted to get to next. So we're
Yeah.
going to dive right into that. Let's get to it now
Alright,
since you
yeah.
brought it up. So you got started very, very young in musical theater, and you were the lead in Annie.
I was.
You were Annie, Annie was you, right?
It was a coming together of personalities. It
How
really
did
was.
that even come to be though? And how old were you when you got that lead?
I was 12, so I was doing community theater in Enfield, Connecticut, where I grew up. my mom basically was looking for any place that I could sing outside the house so that I wouldn't sing like so loudly in the house all the time.
Okay.
So she, you know, I was doing community theater and I did this production of Annie and absolutely refused to audition for the lead. I was too nervous. I was too like stressed
Well, that's
out.
a lot of pressure for a 12-year-old.
Yeah, and I
I'm
remember
sure,
my
yeah.
dad being like, "Are you sure? Like, are you sure?" And I was like, "Nope, don't want to do it." So I played an orphan in that community theater production, and then of course got my sea legs and was like, "This is awesome! Like,
Yeah.
now I want to do Annie." So there was a professional theater called the Goodspeed Opera House in Connecticut that was doing a production, and my mom just saw it. You know, we went, I auditioned, and soon enough, I was getting an equity card and like doing 8 shows a week.
Dude, that's amazing.
It was crazy,
That's
yeah.
amazing. So you were a child star.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
You seem
looking
pretty
back,
well
like,
adjusted for having been a child star.
That's thanks to Colleen and Joe. That's
Oh, Colleen
they-
and Joe,
they didn't
keeping
let
you
me
keeping
become,
you based in
you know,
reality, huh?
They didn't let me become like too diva.
All right, so we're gonna cut through the park here. I love Washington Square Park. It's one of my favorite places to come shoot because there's always so much going on.
So much beautiful stuff.
Yeah, there's crazy characters here. There's a lot of activity. If you need to buy drugs, this is the place to come.
Yeah, that's so fantastic. I
Oh, look
mean,
at this
you,
guy, look
you
at this
play
guy right
some
here. Look
chess,
at this
buy
guy
some
right
drugs.
Boom.
That's it.
Yeah, you got to be quick in the game
You
sometime
do.
with photography
Yeah,
because
you
that guy
do.
could bend
That's
up. I
it.
don't know
I'm
what this guy's
seeing
doing.
that.
Well, let me
I'm
try to get another.
seeing
Let me try to get
that.
another shot of this guy without so many people
Do
in it.
it.
Oh, see, and the moment's already passed. See,
I
the
feel
moment's
like,
already
okay,
gone.
So this to me is like, Corey, so
Yeah.
like this setup here, it's like, cause you get like all of the, you know, the tables in relief, and then there's like some dude like with a filming camera up on the
Yeah, he's recording himself
thing,
playing. This
and I'm
guy's
like,
waving
what?
to us.
Yeah, it's
I have no idea how to play chess, bro.
We-
I
yeah,
can't.
we
We're
have-
in the middle of
we have
things.
no idea.
You want to go play some
idea.
chess? I don't know how to play
I
chess.
don't know how to play chess. You kidding? I mean,
Oh,
we
we'll
could
take a
just
shot of
do-
this guy. He wants you to take his photo.
Oh,
So go
yeah.
there and
Do
get
you
that
want-
guy's
you
photo.
Want, you want us to do a photo?
Yeah.
Do a photo. All right. All right.
Every other photo.
We'll do. Oh, you want to be in a photo? All right.
Before you snap it, let me hold something for
Oh, you want to hold?
That way you understand the nature of
Oh.
who you're dealing with
Oh,
here.
all
I'm not
right,
just
all
a
right.
regular guy. I'm the
Oh
guy.
my.
That's
He's
it.
the guy.
You wanna know
Oh my gosh.
Johnny O'Leary.
What?
You can see me on the front page of the New York Times too. if you
That's
want. If
amazing.
you go to your Google, you could Google Johnny Chess and see me all over the internet.
Johnny
Nice.
Chess.
Yes,
I
all
like
right.
it.
Views strong.
Wow. All right.
my man.
Come back when you want to and
Okay,
give me
well-
$1 so I could get some coffee, or give me $5 or $20 a week. I deal with cash. Cash only. And Johnny, by the way, now that the camera's focused on me, I got a message for someone in particular.
Who's that?
That'll be Anna Cranley, the master. She's an expert in Sweden, and her mother, Pia Cranley,
Okay.
grandmaster. I played both of them right here.
And how'd it go?
That video went beyond viral, 4 million views strong. Anna and her mother beat me. I got a message.
Don't be scared, Anna. Don't be scared.
What?
Don't be scared. The
I'm
champ
not
is here. The champ is here. Don't be scared. We'll be back for you, bro. I got you. All right, let's cut through here. Yeah.
I love it.
Everybody wants the cameraman.
All right.
You did, yeah.
All right. So that's going that way.
So, as Annie, and starting your career so young, I gotta ask: are there any lessons that you learned along the way that you carried with you throughout the rest of your career?
Yeah, I mean, so many, right? It's like if you start out that young, I think, I didn't recognize the impact that starting out that young had on me until much later. But I think, I mean, there are some lessons that are great and some lessons that I look back on and I'm like, oh man, it's okay, like something to contend with now. But because I learned early on to be, super responsible.
Well, that's no fun as a child.
I know. It's not fun as an adult.
Yeah, you're
I
in your
gotta tell
early, you're a tween, and they're like, you have all this responsibility now.
Yeah,
Terrible.
but I wanted that. Like I loved doing the show. I think, I just learned like how important it is to people to,
Keep talking. I'm listening.
yeah, to
Boom.
have, to be inspired and have something to believe in. And I think also like those early days were probably the beginning of being fascinated by songs. Because like I love theater. I love being in theater productions, the community, like having that family for a short time.
Sure.
But I think like the art form of the song. So for instance, the big song from Annie.
No, I don't.
You totally
I've never
do.
seen Annie.
You gotta know it. You would know the song, right?
Oh, let me hear it.
Tomorrow.
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So that's like the giant song from Annie. There are others, but I think like something about that got embedded. That it's like there's this one song that is
Take
like
this guy's photo eating the pizza. It looks good.
the whole kind of like the whole show kind of rests on like that song. So I think there was something about that and kind of recognizing the power that, you know, a song or a melody or something has. Yeah, so, man, so many other lessons too, but probably just stuff that I'm still dealing with in my, you know, childhood actress neuroses that I've worked through so much.
Oh, we got some skateboarders up here. I love skaters. I love skate culture.
Yep, we got skate.
Those guys are savages. But yeah, there's always something going on. So then you wrap up your childhood career as Annie, and then what was next? You launched your first debut album? How did that transition
No, I mean,
happen?
I spent some years doing theater. I did some more professional theater. I did my one TV show, which was Spin City with Michael J. Fox, and my one movie, which was Finding Forrester with Sean Connery.
You were in Finding Forrester?
I'm in it.
Oh, that's
for-
amazing.
I have one line.
Really?
Kind of an off-camera line.
I remember that movie
But
too.
yeah. I say, Claire, come on.
Why was Claire not coming on? Why was she being so stubborn?
You know, she was on the bus.
Ah,
She's a
Claire, you
popular
gotta
kid.
come on, Claire, get
Anna
it together.
Paquin, she's so popular.
Is that who
so-
that was?
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Claire Anna Paquin or whatever her name is?
Totally. Yeah, Paquin. Sorry, Anna.
Paquin, yeah. Cassandra, you know, it's the same thing.
So yeah, I did that, and then, you know, to be honest, I just kind of didn't want to keep trucking back and forth to New York City to audition for stuff. So,
Okay.
So
So
I was
you
like,
made the jump.
I was
You
like a
made the
normal
move.
high school kid for a while, and then I went to college and studied theater because I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was a short. I was only in college a couple years. I finished my whole degree at Florida State in a couple years, and that's where I really fell in love with songwriting.
Okay, very cool. And then you came out with your first debut album.
Yeah, I moved to New York and worked with this awesome producer, Doug.
What year was that?
Wolf.
Was that 2005?
Yeah, four. Well, yeah, when I moved to New York, it was 2004, and that's when I was first. Yeah, I guess that was like the first recordings that I made that I actually released. So the first release came out in 2005.
Okay, yeah, so it was 2005.
Yep.
Now
Hiding Underneath.
Yeah, Hiding Underneath.
Little EP. Yeah.
Now the song, was it Not Enough? Never Enough? What was
Never
it?
Enough.
Never Enough.
Oof.
So the song Never Enough, I want to know, who is that song about, and does
Taking
your
up
husband know that
old
person?
Gems. He doesn't know him. Oh man, it's like the big reveal. These are deep
Uh-huh.
questions, Corey.
I knew I'd find a song somewhere in the archives that I
Yeah.
felt
That
had a
song-
little bit of heartbreak attached to it, and
Yeah.
the song Never Enough
I
kind of.
think like that song. So here's the thing with me in songwriting. A lot of times there's kind of a hybrid of my own, like really deep, you know, actual experience, and then some kind of a thing that I'm thinking like, oh, I'm writing this type of a song. So Never Enough in my brain was like this big, dramatic Celine Dion ballad.
Sure.
You know, like
Yeah, the
scissors.
Ballad of the
it's like-
Heartache.
oh my God, it's like riff central. It's like totally ridiculous. But I think the feeling was inspired by my high school boyfriend. I only had one boyfriend
Oh,
in
the
high school.
high school.
And we
the
were
high
only
school boyfriend.
we were only even like together for, you know, a month.
You were
6
together
weeks
long enough to
or
write a
something.
song about it.
It was for
Woo!
me to be sad about him
A
for
powerful
like
song.
years. I mean, come on. Yeah, so the high school boyfriend.
Wow, very cool.
I know.
Now, as I was going through the archives, I was looking at all your albums and the titles of them. I had just a question, being a dummy who has zero musical talent or experience. Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Get
let's
it. If you
see.
see it, take it.
Yeah,
Don't mind me.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
Now, I'm going to give you a little tip here.
Yeah.
If it's, are you taking a photo of a person?
You're right though. It's so fast. It's like because I
Oh, it
like
happens
that.
so
Like
quick.
his back was to me, and he's got a sign on that says something about spontaneous poetry. But now he's like not turned around anymore.
Yeah. So that
Yeah,
guy,
it was so fast.
I'm noticing now, has a candle on his table that's very phallic in nature, which is hysterical.
I did. Yeah. You're right.
But if we're
That's
taking
actually
photos of people, I want you to get closer. I want you to
Oh,
be
all right.
within 10 feet of that person.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Do you
It'll
ever get
put you out of your.
people, like being all mad that they're taking
It's happened twice. It happened twice.
running down the block.
Well, the one
Sorry.
time that it happened, it was too perfect of a scenario, and it was in the most confrontational environment
Oh.
imaginable, the
Okay.
subway car. So I sat down at one end, and this guy sitting right across from me had his clothes hanging from in a garment bag, hanging from the top handrail, and he had 2 suitcases. He had all of his stuff with him. I don't know where he was going, moving in, moving out, traveling here, traveling there, whatever. But in between him, between the garment bag that was hanging and him sitting there, was an advertisement that said, "Welcome to your closet." And that's a little dose of irony you can't pass up on.
Like
So, so I picked it up and I snapped a couple.
Yeah.
He caught me, and then he proceeded to just glare at me in a very menacingly fashion until we got off the train.
Cool.
And then I flipped him the bird and ran away.
Nice.
No,
But
sometimes,
the ways. This
here's the thing, whenever you're taking photos of people, it can be very unnerving, and I call it standing in the pocket a little bit, standing in the fire. So if I want somebody's, like this guy right here, this guy sitting on the end right here, so I'm gonna wait until he turns to me so we can make a connection, okay?
Right.
And I call that kind of standing in the pocket.
All right.
So let's see. One of the best bits of advice I ever heard from a very famous photographer is, as long as you have a good bedside manner, you can get away with a lot.
Fair.
So I stood there right next to that guy. He never turned to give me that connection. So I made the connection with his wife, who was sitting there, because she turned and saw me.
Right.
And so I was like, "You guys look great. Sorry, I just want to take your photo real quick." And they're like, "Oh, that's awesome." You know, they're very friendly and happy about it. So as long as you just pay somebody a compliment, we're good to go.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we're gonna head up this way towards the arch.
Cool.
And then one thing I want you to notice is where the light is coming, right? See the shadow this way? So if we're facing this way, all of our subjects will be lit very nicely. As opposed to this way, they're kind of backlit, and it might not be the best lighting scenario for us to shoot in. Now, that's not to say it can't be done. There are creative ways to do that, but we're gonna keep our attention focused this way where the sun is shining.
Make it easy.
Yeah, make it easy.
Love it.
But yeah, this is one of the most random places.
It's just, to me, about this park, one of the things I love about this park, I mean any of the parks, is just that the creativity of people cannot be contained. It's like people have to come out here and just like do their creative thing. And like some of them want money, some of them don't. Some of them just want to be out here showing their art, or singing their music, or dancing their roller dance. And it's just like, I don't know, I'm so inspired by that it's like people will just create and they will just make things.
And I'm starting to realize something, that there's no drug peddlers here right now. For the longest time, you couldn't go around this fountain here without table of people selling mushrooms, whatever you wanted, weed,
maybe they cleaned
ketamine,
it up,
everything. Yeah, I'm just realizing that right now. That's a shame.
I know. So much more special then.
So what I was going to say earlier, or ask earlier, because I'm such a novice in the music game, is when you're creating an album, does it start with the title of the album and then you craft songs based on that? Or do you have all the songs crafted and then how you have them laid out and organized, and you think to yourself, I'm going to call this album that? What comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
The songs or the title?
I would say if it goes either of those ways, for me it tends to go more the second way. But to me, like, because albums are kind of, I don't want to say an outdated format, but like a way of consuming music that is definitely a little older at this point in a very singles-driven and song-driven market. So for instance, like the way you listen to music, do you find, like if you find a song that you like, do you always go and look for like the album it's from?
Yes.
You always do? Okay.
Absolutely.
So that you're like one of those people that still does that.
I listen to albums from start to finish.
Yeah. Well, and I get that. Like, I don't know that I've ever made, with the exception of maybe the Live at Camp Nashville.
Woo, which we're going to get into. Oh, we're getting into that one, but don't rush me here. But yeah, we're getting in there.
Yeah, I think for me, the albums have mostly come from the fact that I've written a collection of songs, and then I just feel like, okay, I'm going to like put out this collection of songs, and I do try to have some thematic similarity or at least like production feel, that it's like, okay, these can all coexist in the same sonic environment. But yeah, I haven't ever really written like a concept album per se. So I would say it's more like I write songs and then I decide what's going to be packaged together.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Like if you could kind of distill your excitement about street photography down to like one thing, for instance, I don't know, like what I see in your work is I feel like the element of juxtaposition, of like
That's a big part of street photography.
Yeah.
A lot of guys have just made their career off of just being really good at juxtapositions.
Yeah.
I try to have a little bit of everything in mind. I have some juxtaposition stuff. I have some street portraiture. I try to have an overall, I don't know what word I'm looking for here. It's not just one particular party trick.
Yeah, no.
Does that make sense? I try to have as many
Yeah.
party tricks as I possibly can.
I think you do. It's just that a lot of the stuff that has been, my favorite work of yours is like, and maybe this is just.
That's the stuff that gets noticed.
Well, and maybe it's just what reflects more on like, what I like in general, but it's like things that have relationship in them. What do you say?
It's a Dachshund meetup.
What? Oh, no.
It's a Dachshund meetup.
Way.
Sorry, we're going. Oh my God, look at them all. Tom, steal one for me, please. I don't even know where to begin. So a good trick for taking, and you've already done it?
Yeah.
You did it instinctively, is when you're taking photos of dogs, get down on their level and shoot level with them. Exactly. So cute.
I
He's got
mean,
a little biker jacket on. Oh my God, he got a little biker jacket on. I just wanted. Oh,
look at him.
he's got a little biker jacket on.
Oh my God. All right.
So, anyways, how things relate to each other within the frame is very important in photography. And a lot of times you can relate two things together that aren't necessarily related at all. Which
Well,
is,
that's
always a
really
fun challenge to have.
surprising.
Yeah,
exciting. And you go, oh, that's like, that picture creates this emotion. There's this delight or
Dude,
this
that's
like
a big one.
unexpectedness. It is.
That's a big dachshund.
Gotta be a mix, right?
I don't know. Oh, hi. Hi.
Hi, sweet.
Oh, you're so beautiful.
They are.
There's so many of them. It's dachshund overload right now.
Dachshund
Now, I know there's a good
overload.
shot to have here, but I just
But you
talking
just
and
need
walking
to
and I just can't. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
there it is.
yeah.
Oh, he's humping. Oh, he was humping. He was trying to get it in.
Right?
Oh, it's amazing. So as I kind of did a deep dive into your musical background and your albums and all your songs and everything, I came across this album, Live at Camp Nashville.
Ooh, yes. The deep cuts.
What the F, man? You went so hard. Hold on. Stop the video right now. I'm leaving the link in the description. Go listen to Live at Camp Nashville. I'm telling you right now, and then come back to us.
Man.
She went so hard, it's not even funny. You did though.
I did. It's a long album.
What was
like,
going on in your life during that moment that, I mean, you
All right.
you made that entire set list your bitch. No,
Yeah, thank
pardon
you.
my
Thank
language.
you. So it was a lot of songs that I'd written. I was in a very tumultuous, early 20s time of transition. I was coming out of one relationship. I was in another one. That one was not the best. I had moved to Nashville with this guy. There was like all this stuff going on. And I was writing what I think are probably some of the most personal, quote, like singer-songwriter.
You could
like,
feel it
types
in the
of
songs
songs.
too, though, man. You
Yeah,
could
yeah.
feel it.
So but I was also just in this space of like a lot of exhaustion and depression and like insecurity and like not knowing what I was doing, like not.
And this was
feeling like
2010, right?
This is, yeah.
Did you just say that? Yeah,
I
no.
wanna say it's
2010, I believe.
20, yeah. I guess somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. No, 2009. I lived in Nashville in 2009.
Okay.
So we recorded it in 2009. But the thing was that I had all these songs. I had like these 20 songs that I was like, I think these are, songs that are worth being heard, but I just don't feel like I have the bandwidth or the time or the budget to like really properly produce them and put them out. So I had the luxury of this situation, this relationship at the time where there was a loft space in Nashville. Shout out to the Heyman Loft, and able to record all of this stuff live. So that's what we did, is we just like plunked me at a piano, grabbed a couple other folks, other side people, percussion, violin, guitar.
It was really amazing.
Thank you.
And you start the album, and it's a double disc. It's like a
So that's
double
it,
feature.
It's like 22 songs.
It's like 22
yeah,
songs.
it's a lot of
But you
songs.
start the album, and it's a banger and a banger, and then, I don't know, fourth, fifth, maybe sixth song in, you cover Journey.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm. It was like you were sucking my soul out of my body, and then you hit it was just so. I wanted to fight people afterwards. I was so fired up.
Soul Vacuum. It's gonna be my next tagline.
And I mean that in a good way. I don't mean it was just you. It was that you just grabbed hold of the listener so hard, And then the very end of that song, you just went on this, you just hit this one note and carried it for, I don't know, 25 minutes. I can't even hold my breath that long.
No, Steve Perry, I think, does that. My recollection when I arranged that song to do it was that Steve Perry does that note where he's like, ah,
yeah,
and it just like,
just
and then
carried it.
Like it's all happening, but he's just holding this note.
It was so powerful. And then you get done with that note, and then it's just and I was just sitting there like, wow. And then you go, Journey.
Right.
I completely broke the tension. Completely, it was like, I know I have everybody right now. I have them in the palm of my hand. Let me bring it back to reality with a little giggle and a little comedic break.
I do love to do like a smoldering cover of a song that's like.
Well, you smoldered the hell out of that one.
I don't know what it is. Like taking a song and kind of slowing it down, putting it in a real groove.
So good. I listened to that thing maybe 20 times in a row. I just could not stop listening to it. It was so insane.
If you like that one, did you ever hear the cover of Bad Romance? Lady Gaga's song Bad Romance.
Yeah.
Because that's another one.
I'm a Gaga-phile.
You take it, but you slow it down.
Yeah.
So that's on. I think.
I love Lady Gaga, man. She's one of the goats.
So that's the Just Being Myself album has a real slowed down version of that song, of Bad Romance.
Okay, very cool.
If you don't know it, you might want to
Should
check
we
that as
make our way through the street vendors? There's always something popping off in Street Vendorville.
Yeah, sure.
Let's check it out.
Let's see it.
Yeah, let's go. So what was it like playing Carnegie Hall? It's kind of a surreal experience, I have to assume.
I mean, it was. It's interesting because, so shout out to Chara Suri, who had me guest with her at her Carnegie Hall show. And I mean, I think the most interesting thing to me was that it was 100% acoustic. So there was no miking and no amplification. And I wasn't expecting that.
Why is that? Because of the way the place is designed?
Yeah, I mean, it's because they claim that, Vile Recital Hall, where we were, is a acoustically perfect room. So, meaning you can just get on the stage and make some sound, and that sound should be carried, all the way to the, people sitting in any seat. So, but it was fascinating because coming from a pop and a rock and a, folk and just this background where I play theaters and clubs and spaces that are amplified, and also developing a vocal style that's a little more, nuanced, so that I don't have to sing out to the rafters the way that I used to do when I was a theater person.
Really belt it out there.
Yeah, it felt like that again. It felt very how am I gonna?
I love this guy's glasses. I gotta take them. I gotta get it. Boom. There we go. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
So it was a unique experience for sure.
Real quick, and we're gonna come back to the Carnegie Hall thing. So. I called that guy out and said, I like this guy's glasses, so he immediately posed, which is not what I want.
Right, you want
Rarely do I want that, but we're talking and walking, and I'm just kind of keeping it playful. Yeah. I probably should have just shot it first, and then because I don't like when people pose, and then they get a little stiff and they try to project.
Candid.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so Carnegie Hall, you had no, audio equipment that was hooked up, microphones and things of that nature, no speakers. Were you a little nervous because of that, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I always want my audience to have such a great experience, and I know.
Look at this guy. Keep talking.
I know what it feels like to have, to be moved by the music and kind of have it wash over you, And so I think, for me, I was a little concerned that people weren't going to get the full impact of the songs, particularly "Burn It Down," the song that the song of mine that I got.
Which we're going to talk about.
So yeah, but at the end of the day, I think it was a unique perspective on those songs, and it was definitely a cool experience. It reminded me, honestly, it gave me hives a little because it reminded me of my recital days.
So, still listening, recital days. I'm always looking at reflections too for anything that I might catch somebody in the reflection.
In the mirror,
See this guy right here? No offense, not you, but the guy in the reflection is looking right at me. Boom, I got him. That was perfect timing, man. So anytime, so a little added element of interest.
Yeah. It's such a different way of seeing. I'm fascinated by the fact that you see it.
Oh, my man, that reminds me of Argentina. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. So this is a great detail shot.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. And boom. That's awesome.
Arribas.
Awesome hoodie. Like your style, bro. Looking good, looking fresh.
Yeah.
I love guys like that. They're out just here hustling always, you know?
But that's just New York. It's like every single
That's
one
New
of these
York,
people
man.
out here
Yeah.
is like believing in something, you know, putting forth their product, putting forth their creations. And,
Yeah.
I don't know, that just
Rolling the
endlessly
dice.
inspires me. That's it. It's like,
I mean,
just,
dude, this is where you cut your teeth at. I've been
Yeah.
here going on 16 or 17 years now.
yeah.
It always slightly offends me, but also gives me a little bit of pride when I hear somebody say, "Oh, I can never live in New York, man. I can never. New York's just not for me." And you know why? Because you're a pussy. That's why.
Well, it's definitely a,
All right, Cass, see what we can do with this mirror here.
all right,
Find somebody, tee it up,
something,
take
something.
the shot.
All right, gotta find.
If there is anybody, I don't know. Work your angles, work those angles.
I'm
I don't
looking,
know.
I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm looking. I'm finding, I'm looking. Not that good. Don't love it.
Another dachshund. You see anybody? Oh, see, I'm making eye contact with this handsome dude
Are
right
you
here.
getting dachshund
I see him.
in the shot?
I see him. I see him. Oh, my man. Yeah, he knows. He knows what's up. I saw you. We had a moment just now, you and I. Can I ask you an honest question? And just give me an honest answer.
Which ones have
Do you think I can pull these off?
Ooh, definitely. 100%. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen you pull off something similar to that before.
Actually,
Not like
not too
physically
far
pull
off.
it off, but I do feel like there have been a couple river days where
There
maybe
have been. Oh,
those-
somebody dropped a necklace. That's a shame. Is this yours? No?
maybe they'll come back for
Maybe
it.
they'll come back for it. Oh, yeah, I don't know whose this is. You know what? It's mine now.
It's a souvenir.
It's a souvenir of our day
Souvenir
together.
of the day. Yeah, those swamp trunks, you can pull them off.
But yeah, anyway, so people that are poo-poo in New York and how they can never live here, it's because New York's a tough city, man.
Yeah, well,
It will chew you up and spit you out. It's like a meat grinder of, I'm going to try my luck here. I'm going to test my ambition, my opportunity. I'm going to try to make it happen in New York. And so many people come, and as quickly as they come, they're gone.
if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Listen,
And that can't be more true, dude.
There is, right? It's like,
Cannot be more true.
It sounds so cliche, and then you live here a while, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, that still applies.
Should we hook right? Go down to Thompson?
Right.
Let's talk about Burn It Down. That song is a ballad of ballads. It's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Thank you.
I listen to that song before I work out. While I'm working out, I listen to that song before I fought my jiu-jitsu match in
That's
Dallas.
it. It's a good pump-up
That song
song.
fires me up, man. It really does.
pump-up song.
And I think it's because, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a rebelliousness to it. There's like
Yeah,
a
definitely.
rebellion kind of an undertone,
And there's also something
which
like,
I kind of gravitate towards.
totally. And for me as a writer, that's also something that it's like, hey, I've written about like transforming yourself before, but I don't think I've ever written about it in that way that it's like, you know what? Screw everything. Like, let it all go. Who even cares? Like, start over. You can be somebody different today than you were yesterday, and it doesn't have to be pretty.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be nice. It doesn't have, it's like just, torch it.
Sure,
Torch whatever you don't
absolutely.
like.
Burn the bridges, man.
Yeah.
No way back.
And I think like that's not a perspective that that I often have. I'm kind of always like, oh, well, you can work things out, and you're like listening, being compassionate.
That won't put you out of your comfort zone a little bit?
A little bit,
Yeah.
but I wrote it because of the TV show Yellowstone. You know that show?
Oh, absolutely. I love Yellowstone.
Yeah,
that
so-
show's amazing.
So a friend of mine had said, hey, I've got a friend, shout out Taylor Sheridan, the director, creator at that show, and do you have anything for the show? And I'm listening through to my catalog, and I said, something that's this dark and gritty and like very tumbleweed and very like, I didn't feel like I had the right
That song
thing.
is perfect for that show.
So I wrote it for that show.
Yellowstone, what are we doing?
Yeah,
Burn it down.
get it
Cassandra
on, burn it
Kubisnski, let's go.
down. Thank you, Corey. Yeah, so, but
No,
then,
I genuinely love that song.
Thank
That
you.
song is fire.
the thing about it is like
No
with
pun
all
intended.
with all
Pun intended.
hey, with all art forms, I feel like you can think that you're doing something, but then like you always put yourself in your work, So even though I was thinking, I'm trying to write a song that's going to work for this show, the reality is when I turned around, I was like, oh, that's actually my story too. Like
amazing.
there's a piece of how I really feel in that. And there's something that came out that was like, I don't like who I'm being. I don't like, I don't like.
So let's change it. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, let's change it, dude. Absolutely.
So yeah, but that song does seem to connect with people, and of course, it is very dark. It's very incendiary kind of.
So you wrote that with Yellowstone in mind, and you also did 9 song placements for Dance Moms. Let's walk a little bit.
Yeah.
So with that whole thing, how did that come about? And do the producers of that show give you a direction to go in? And they have any creative control of the songs that you put in there?
Not
or is
so
it just they
much.
gave you free reign?
Yeah, I mean, with Dance Moms, I think so I had a bunch of songs in what they call a music library. There's a catalog of songs that, that the TV show, that Lifetime and Dance Moms, they draw upon that catalog for music. So it actually turned out to be a really lucky thing that they just found my songs and the very piano-driven lyrical vibe worked for what they were
going for.
So then they just kept using it. So
we're gonna go left or over Tom's right. Tom, our nimble-footed cameraman.
Oh yeah. At last count, I think it was actually up to 13 songs on Dance, 13 placements. So some of the songs. Well, some of the songs they've used a couple times, on different iterations of the show.
Oh, okay.
Dance Moms Miami, or Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, or whatever. But yeah, I mean that's been huge because so many people have discovered the songs because of that show. So it's been really a gift to me. Yeah, really,
That's so fun.
And plus, I think there's nothing cooler than seeing other people make art to your art. So
Heck yeah.
Here's
I
my
love
song.
that. I didn't even think about that.
And then it's they turn it into something. They turn it into a dance, and now it's now the song gets a whole new life because it's that's how they're feeling it. That's how they're seeing it. So.
Sorry,
cool.
just real quick, 2 things caught my eye. A, her with the red hat, and I was too slow to get it, and then also the guy cupping breasts right here. But see, now that kind of has a political, I don't know, tinge to it. So I'm not sure, but you know what? Why not? Let's take a photo of it. Speaking of collaborations, you came out with this. No, you know what? Time out. Hold on. Again, stop the video. I'm putting the link in the description down below. You need to listen to Burn It Down as well. Journey, Burn It Down, those 2 you got to listen to.
Right.
Anyways, we're back at it. Collaborations. You made a holiday album, Holiday Magic.
Oh yeah.
So much fun.
So fun.
So much fun. Is that kind of a bucket list thing, or is that something later on you're just saying, you know what, I want to make a holiday track?
Yeah, actually, that was in this crazy year where a ton of shit happened. I got married, I bought a house, and I was like, why not? Let's just make a holiday album.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was started that summer, and I mentioned it. I had a song called Doesn't Feel Like December, which is a song that is this super happy, boppy, kind of throwback to, big band style, whatever type of song. There's a kazoo on it on the record, which,
I heard the kazoo. Why not, man?
It's
fun for all.
Bring kazoos back to pop music.
It's fun for everyone.
It really is.
Yeah.
So anyway, the crazy thing about that is I wrote one of the most joyful songs about being so crazy explosively in love at a time where I was absolutely wrecked, breaking up with the first total love of my life. And I was living in Brooklyn Heights, and I remember walking down Joralemon Street or whatever street it was, Tillery Street, and in the throes of this absolute crushing sadness of this relationship is breaking up. What comes to mind is this da 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 da, this super bop, and I don't know, it was so that was definitely a weird juxtaposition, but
camera spotter. And then speaking of collaborations, you've collaborated with a lot of people, as I mentioned in the intro. You've done some of the Goo Goo Dolls, 10,000 Maniacs, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
But one of the collaborations I noticed was on Holiday Magic when you recorded a track with your sisters.
Yes.
And from what I understand is that your sisters are both very bossy and overbearing. So were they okay with you kind of taking the creative reins there, or were they difficult to work with?
No, both of my sisters are insane badass goddesses in their own right, and we're all, as my mom says, she says we're all princesses, but I'm the princess in the P. Everything has to be so perfect, and I'm overly sensitive about everything. And then there's Disney Princess, my middle sister Allie Kubinski, who is unfairly gorgeous. And then there's Jackie, our youngest sister, who is the Xena Warrior Princess. So we're all princesses, but
in your own Disney universe.
Yeah, very different personalities. And yeah, singing with them was so great because both of them are, I always say, they easily could have been doing what I'm doing. They just didn't choose to pursue that path, but they're super talented. They always were, piano, voice, dance. We all did all that stuff. And
then
they're
you guys
crazy
recorded a little
talented.
drummer boy together.
Yeah, which was sort of an inside family joke. It was a thing that
I wouldn't cross here.
my sisters and I created, you know, way back in the day. That was a song we sang to signal that we wanted dessert at Thanksgiving or Christmas. We were like,
Oh,
yo,
really?
yeah, let's go, adults. Like, we're done like chattering here. Let's eat some sugar, you know?
Right on.
I have no idea why it became that song, but yeah, when I did the holiday album, I said,
just wait, yeah. Okay.
absolutely have to record it with them, and not only with them, with the spoons that we used to bang when we were
So you use
singing
those
that
as well,
song.
bringing
And that's
everything
it.
full circle.
Yep, so it's spoons, sisters, Greg German on percussion, Tony Daniels producing that
You
track.
guys sounded great.
They're amazing.
You all have really
Honestly,
nice voices.
we have press on that song that's like, one of the standouts of the record is like, you know,
Well, I mean,
Cassandra and her
you guys were
sisters.
harmonizing.
Yeah, they're
wonderfully.
amazing. So yeah, so it was
I
great.
thought that was incredibly cool that you kind of brought everything full circle and with Holiday Magic and doing, you know, that recording with your sisters.
Yeah, well, it was a super special moment for me, and amazing that they made it work. My youngest sister was pregnant with her first kid when we recorded her part. And,
Oh, was she?
Yeah, had to go
Oh,
to
wow.
Boston, and you know, we got her to like get on the train, come out to a hotel room, and yeah. Recording these days is, you know, is you can kind of do it from anywhere as long as you can like control your environment enough. So yeah, the pictures of that, there's like a microphone stacked up on 3 hotel pillows and like Jackie with the headphones, you know, like it's just, it's not what you would think is a very pro thing, but man,
Sure.
it sounds good. So
Oh, that's so fun. That's wild.
Yeah.
So real quick, my eye just
Yeah.
immediately as I'm scanning the horizon like the Terminator,
Yeah.
caught this bus over here with the gnarly
Have
graffiti
to,
on it.
yeah.
I'm just gonna take a shot of that when we get over there.
The
'cause
Nugas.
It's kind of, yeah, I don't know what that means or what it is. What's up, bro? Just talking and walking. A little segment I like to call Two Cameras and a Conversation. Can you help me with that?
two cameras and a conversation.
Ooh, that was much better.
Yeah, I mean-
a little bit more.
2 cameras and a conversation.
Ooh, that might be a soundbite for the rest of our. That's gonna be a
It's like, how high
soundbite.
do you want it?
Oh, I want it.
2 cameras and a conversation.
Woo! We're so dumb. Oh, that's
This is my
brilliant.
life. Random outburst of
Oh,
opera
it's so
is
brilliant.
my life.
As I
you
run
know?
into Tom. Sorry, buddy. All right, I'm gonna take a photo of this gnarly van over here. 3, 2, 1, and engage. Boom. So one thing I'm always kind of, whenever there's people involved,
Yeah.
I like to try to get them in mid-stride. Because
yeah.
it just looks better when somebody's here
stretched
as
out.
opposed to here.
Yeah.
And then sometimes what's really, it's this weird thing, you can always tell when 2 people are in sync together because they're walking in stride together. Pay attention
all
to
right,
any
okay.
group of people, whether they're 2, 3, 4, 5 people,
Yeah.
as they're walking down a sidewalk or walking anywhere, you'll see. I watched these 2 women one time walk 2 full avenues
Like
perfectly in stride, just
perfect,
talking,
like lockstep. Yeah.
just left, right, and they just did the whole avenue. And they're so locked in, so in sync. And other people, they just can't get it together.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's all of us. Some days you're in stride. Some days you can't get it together.
Now, where are we, Cass? We are,
So right now
where's your spot at? We
I
gotta
think
go
it's
to,
one more. Yeah,
one
we're
more?
West Third. Yeah, we gotta
Okay.
go down.
so we've covered pretty much all of your career. And it seemed like everything culminated and led up to the session of Saratoga.
The
The Saratoga sessions.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about how that
EP.
project came to be and how you ended up in Saratoga.
Yeah, so Saratoga, really, I went for a boy. My husband was living up there when we got together, and I just fell in
Isn't
love
that
with the
always the
town.
case?
Right? Oh, gosh, love the
Love.
things we do. So yeah, and then I had never really thought that I could create at the level that I, normally I'm working with people in, New York or LA or Nashville, or like what you'd think of as major music cities. So when I was in Saratoga, I started discovering just the incredible talent, depth, breadth of talented people that are up in that like 518 area. So I said, all right, you know what? I want to make some
Well, a lot of
music up
creatives
here.
go there after they're done with the city, you feel?
Well, I mean,
Little getaway?
to be honest, just people are there. Like the people that live there, there's a lot of really talented people. So, I'm serving on the board of an organization called Cafe Lena, which is an awesome small nonprofit venue where I also get to play. It's an amazing spot to play. And I met Jim Mastriani, this producer there.
He
And
sounds fancy.
He is. He's very Italian. Mastriani. So we got together and I shared some of my unproduced songs, things that were kind of in the hopper. and we ended up settling in on 4 of them, and that's this little EP now that's called the Saratoga Sessions. And the deal with that EP is that every single person who touched that project is local to the 518. So it's like, you know, everybody from musicians, mixers, mastering, designers, people who worked on the
Keeping it in the
looks,
fam.
fashion,
I like it.
photography, like everything was, yeah, it was all centered on just showcasing the talent in that upstate region, you know, Saratoga, Albany corridor. Yeah, and it's been doing real well. We just got to perform
Yeah,
at
it's
the
an amazing
Eddies
4
Awards.
tracks.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, let's talk about that real quick. The
Yeah.
Eddies. I almost forgot to talk about the Eddies. You looked amazing, first of
you,
all.
thank you.
Where did that dress come from?
That was from, oh my gosh, Imad Eduso is the name of the designer. And it was
you
like
looked
a 2-piece
beautiful.
thing. Thank you.
Was that Japanese inspired, kind of?
You
or
know,
what?
it wasn't. I added the belt actually. So I have a
okay.
stylist named Petra up in Saratoga, and so she had the red accent. She had like pulled the red shoes and the red earrings. But then we were like, it needs something, and I had this giant belt, so we used the belt.
Yeah, it was amazing. And what was it like playing at the Eddies?
It was awesome. I mean, just getting to play on the Proctor stage, which is such a huge.
Where does that take place at?
Proctor's. The theater is called Proctor's.
Okay, where's that at exactly?
Schenectady.
Okay.
So it's like between Albany and Saratoga.
Oh, so it's not in New York at all?
No,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
Oh yeah, in New York City.
I mean, I'm sorry, New York City. It's not New York City.
Yeah,
When I say
totally.
New York, I mean the city. Everybody knows
yeah.
that.
But it's like Proctor's Theater is a place where like the touring musicals will go through. So you know, if you're in Six the musical, or I think I saw the Alanis Morissette musical there, they all come touring through there. But it's like a big stage. They have this insane, huge grand piano. So yeah, me and this band that created the Saratoga Sessions with me got to play, and it was awesome.
Oh, that's so amazing. That was very, very cool. And what a great way to just, cap things off.
Yeah, and like just kicking off, going into, you know, the next chapter here, we're getting asked to play at, you know, the Lake George Summer Series now, and like other shows that are kind of hitting us up. So I think that hopefully things are going to keep growing. We'll keep touring. We'll keep playing. for
That
more
brings
people.
me to my segue then. We've reached the end of our journey and the beginning of yours.
Here it
the
is.
bitter end,
True.
where it all started.
It's so true. I owe the bitter end and Kenny, rest in peace, so much because this was one of the first places that said, hey, come play your own music, play a full set. You know, we're going to give you this stage. It's a very historic stage for, you know, a lot of people.
Place has character, for real.
So much,
You can tell
yeah,
it's been here for a while.
sure. And so big ups to Paul and Dan and everybody at the bitter end for, you know, letting me cut my teeth here.
Is this
just to
nostalgia for
learn.
you saying this?
Yeah, it is. You know, sometimes I still come over. My buddy Richie Canada, who plays on the Billy Joel cover, This Is the Time, that I covered. Richie is Billy's original sax player. So Richie and I got together and did this version of Billy's song, This Is the Time, and Richie hosts a jam here that still goes on. It's been running for many, many years.
And speaking of Mr. Joel, sorry, that's not the end of my, not the end of our journey, but you also have collaborated with Billy Joel on a track, right?
Yeah, Billy had a really cool song idea that he kicked over my way, and he had like some words, a couple of like the beginning of the story written, but then I finished that up. So yeah, we have this song together that you know.
Talk about a dream
hopefully-
collab, right?
Hopefully that song will be. we'll
See
do
the light of
something with
day
that
at some
song
point?
soon. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go,
yeah.
Billy. What are we doing, man? Come on.
Shout out, Bill.
Let's go. All right, so we're done. What can we know about you? What's coming up? Promote yourself. Tell the people what they got
I mean,
what you got
really,
coming
there's
up.
a lot of shows, you know, coming up anywhere from New York City to Saratoga to we're working on Colorado dates. So, you know, if you want to come out to a live show, the best thing to do is just get over to CassandraKubinski.com, check out the tour dates. You can always follow me at Cassandra Kubinski on Instagram, Facebook, and of course the biggest thing, the thing that makes me the happiest is just when people listen to the music. So
Hell yeah, I love it,
if you want to hear
man.
it, you can get it all the things we talked about today. Burn It Down, Saratoga Sessions, live at Camp Nashville. It's all on Spotify and Apple Music and Pandora.
I love it.
everywhere.
So amazing,
Go,
so amazing.
Dive in, put your headphones on, get your glass of wine, immerse.
Well, thanks for spending time with us. We appreciate
Thank you,
the hell
Corey.
out of
This is
you.
awesome. I feel like
appreciate
I've
it.
learned so much about just a different way to look at, you know, a city that I love so much, and new perspectives.
Yeah, and we're gonna put these, bring these up in the studio and see what we captured today. Who knows? Could be
forward.
absolute gold. Could be complete poo. We don't know. We'll find out later.
Mine the streets.
But with that, we're signing out. Ready?
Right on.
Karate. And we're done.